Hello and welcome to another gathering of the Johnny Fontaine fan club, also known as Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
And I'm the Turk.
And together we are Godfather Minute, where we talk about The Godfather, 1 minute of The Godfather, for an extended period of time. Mm-hmm. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How's your drink? Consigliere?
It's good. I got orange juice.
I'm doing well. I've been looking forward to leaving the wedding scenes and moving on to some of these, just getting new characters in the mix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And boy, Woltz has turned out to be quite a whopper.
He's a gold mine.
Alex, e minuto.
E minuto.
Repeat after me. E minuto.
E minuto.
E minuto.
E minuto.
Numero 32.
32.
I need to see the hand. 32.
32.
You got it. Did you just give me the finger?
No.
Did you just flip me off in Sicilian?
Minuto numero 32.
You got it.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Excellent.
That's 32, in case you don't speak Sicilian fluently, as I clearly do. So let's talk about minute 32 of The Godfather.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Well, minute 32 starts off. We're in Jack Woltz's lovely home, and it starts off with Tom informing Jack Woltz that the Don never asks a second favor when he's been refused a first. Understood?
Understood.
That understood is an interesting little... I feel like that's Tom's way of basically kind of reminding him, like almost like asserting his power.
Yeah, it almost seems. Go ahead.
Because he says understood. It's clearly like a threat.
Yeah.
So
oh, no. He's an attorney. He has not threatened anyone.
Oh, I know. But like when he says understood, he's like, are you getting the subtext of my thing, which is that like you're going to get on the Don's bad side if you don't. So I like that about Tom. That he's not intimidated. He's not intimidated by.
He is a lawyer too, so you could interpret that when he says understood. It's almost like he needs
legal.
He needs Woltz to say, like, yes, I understood. It's kind of like it's like being served paper, so he can go back and say, hey, he said he understood, so totally. You can now take action.
Yeah,
but Woltz immediately says, you don't understand.
Oh,
so it's sort of he flips it right back on him.
So
Johnny Fontaine never gets that movie.
Does he say, you don't understand? Or does he say, you don't understand?
No, it's the first. He says, you don't understand.
Oh, okay,
it's almost like Woltz didn't even hear what he had to say.
Yeah, he's just so caught up in his...
It's almost like this whole scene could have been done without Tom Hagen there. Woltz just starts going off.
Well, this is something that we've talked about. This is one of the reasons we started doing this podcast. We were talking about the scene, and we're like, we should do a podcast about it. Not to hype this up as this is the reason we did it, but like we were discussing, why does Jack Woltz get so worked up in this scene? Because he invites Tom over, and then just suddenly he goes from like being gentlemanly to just totally blowing up at him.
Yeah, I mean, he went from, oh, Tom, you should have told me you worked for Corleone. And now he's like, you don't understand.
Or maybe once he said he doesn't, he won't ask a second favor if he's refused. And Woltz is just like so frustrated that he's being put in this situation. He's being made to look ridiculous.
But that's not so bad for a guy like Woltz, right?
No, a man in his position? He can't afford that.
He spent $600,000 on a horse. He can afford to be made to look ridiculous.
You know what else he spends a lot on?
What?
Wine.
He does.
Because in this scene there's a blooper or a continuity error where you see the servant pouring Tom some red wine, and then the camera angle switches, and then you see the servant pouring more wine into the thing.
I picked up on that too, but I was wondering if maybe Tom Hagen he knows this onslaught is coming, so he's thinking, I'm just going to drink as much wine as I can. This guy's going to kick me out probably in 30 seconds. Let me get my
So you think in between the shots he slammed that down, and then the guy just kept pouring.
That's how fast he was. Or maybe that was the second glass.
Yeah, that's
as we know from the plane trip over. He's fond of martinis. Didn't he drink 8 martinis in one flight?
Who? Tom?
Tom Hagen on the way to L.A.
What was that in the book?
We talked about that. It was in the book. How
Oh,
he drank.
well, the book is different than the movie.
What? Oh, no.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different.
No! Oh, Alex, speaking of the Don only
Yes.
asking a favor once, have you ever asked someone only one favor?
Well, probably. Probably just people I've only met one time or something, or just had maybe not really that strong of a relationship, like a coworker. I'm like, hey, could you do me a favor and cover for me on Saturday, something like that. But
And if they declined, would you ask them a second one?
It's tempting to say no, but I know me, and I'm a total mooch and always looking for people to do stuff for me. So I'm sure I asked.
Well, most favors that you ask people are sort of innocuous. Hey, could you do me a favor?
You mean
so
me personally, or one?
I think generally anyone.
Asks,
Yeah, so it's not like unless it's a very big favor,
right? So, like, if the Don asked you to help him move,
like back then, if I were alive, in the 40s, and you asked me, I'd help him out.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, if I could get a favor back from the Don at some point, just for spending a half day
for a mundane thing like moving.
Is he buying the pizza?
Oh, that's so racist. I can't believe you even said that.
I mean, that's what you always get when you help people move. They order pizza at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the Don has some pizza guy owes him a favor, so he'd be like calls in all his favors for this moving.
Of course, when you're helping him move all his junk,
Yeah.
he's having the servant serve you Sanka all day, which doesn't do you any good.
Oh,
you
it's just so tired.
You need caffeine
Yeah.
when you're moving stuff.
What is a favor you would not do for the Don?
Oh boy, yeah, there definitely is a threshold. I don't think I would break any laws.
You wouldn't.
No.
Any laws?
Well, you're crossing the line there because then he's got the goods on you. You're part of the crime family if you commit a crime.
But meaning
doing
like
a
he's
favor
going to
the
blackmail you, or what? What?
Well, I mean, at some point if he takes the fall, that someone could rat you out that you committed a crime. I guess it depends on the crime.
I think also if they're getting the Don for something, they're not going to need. They're not. It doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't think it goes
true.
downward. Where now we're going to get all the little guys.
The whole sting operation is to get that guy doing the podcast.
They want the Don to turn so that he'll get to get you.
What can you offer me, Agent Robinson? We'll give you 2 years probation. We just need the guy who comes to your wedding asking favors to beat up his daughter's attacker.
Selling that stuff on StubHub.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, speaking of last week's episode, we asked and we answered. Do you have a theme for that?
I'm going to insert it now.
Okay. So last week we were talking about the value of cartoon.
Oh yeah, 600 grand, small bills cash.
Yeah, 600 grand, small bills cash, which
that's what the horse's name should be.
Small bills cash?
No, just 600 grand, small bills cash.
$600,000 in 1945 money would be about 7.9 million today.
Okay.
And you asked, is that a lot for a racehorse?
That's what I asked.
And the answer is yes. But not the most ever for a racehorse.
Above the median.
The most ever paid for a racehorse was $16 million.
Well, nowadays?
Yeah, that was in, over the past 5 years.
Wow, boy. Did the horse win, or was he just put out the stud?
I assume all these are all thoroughbreds that were bought, so I assume most of them were probably. I think that's the thing, is when the horse wins, that's when you sell it for stud.
Oh, got it, yeah.
Like, you don't keep racing it once it's won a big race, because it's, probably as valuable as it's going to get.
That's
winning
true.
a lot of them isn't going to probably increase the value.
Yeah, you're right.
Risk getting hurt and stuff.
Because you're reproducing that horse to
exactly.
win multiple races.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, one horse can win, 8 races? But
Maybe.
one horse with 50 children can win hundreds of races.
So you're saying one horse with a briefcase can get more money than 1,000 horses with guns.
Yes.
But it's just out of the top 10 ever paid for a racehorse. The lowest, I saw the thing, top 10 most expensive racehorses, and the cheapest one on that list was $9 million, which is only $250,000 more than Woltz's horse. So you figure it's at least probably in the top 15 most expensive racehorses. So
when when Woltz in the previous minute said, "Oh, I bet no Russian czar ever paid that much for a nag," or whatever he said.
Nag. Okay, you're confusing
he
like
loves,
slang.
Yeah,
terms.
no, he loves the horse. Yeah. Is that true? I'm guessing the Russians are maybe not $600,000 US dollars in 1946.
Yeah,
but the equivalent, I bet they paid more.
that's it. Now we're gonna do this next week. We'll have to answer. What's the most a Russian czar ever paid for a horse?
I asked, and you're gonna answer.
This is gonna be like 30 weeks from now. It's gonna be a chain of questions.
Where do you think the question's gonna be 30 episodes from now?
I think it'll be something like which planet is the farthest away from from our what habitable planet is the farthest
I think
away
it'll keep getting deeper and deeper into the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe.
Oh, really?
Because we're
Okay,
just
wow.
So if you had a very expensive racehorse, Alex, what would you name him or her? Probably, I'm guessing him. Are the fastest racehorses male?
I don't know if that makes any difference. I wonder.
Okay.
You asked, we're going to get a horse racing expert on this show.
I'm going to stop asking questions that we don't know the answers to.
Yeah.
Well, what would you name this horse?
My horse?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. They have all sorts of crazy rules about what you can and can't name a horse.
So you are a horse expert.
Well, I just remember because watching the Kentucky Derby, they'll sometimes go
Yeah,
into it. And I was
yeah.
they always have weird names. And I remember looking up the rules and it's you can't give a derogatory, you can't call the horse stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid's in first place. You
yeah.
can't use any of those terms. You can't use first place winner, any of those things that will. What would I name
Can you
my
use
horse?
numbers and symbols? Could you do WTF?
Emojis. I name my horse eggplant poop smiley face. I don't know, but probably not symbols.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I'll have to look up what the rules are for.
All right. So you should write this down. You got to look up the horse racing horse name rules. What was...
Should I do this for next week or should I just do it in the bonus
do it for
content
next
for
week.
today?
Well, do it in the bonus content. That's
Okay.
a great idea.
I'll look that up
because
during
we
the break.
know all of our listeners want to know the answers to these fascinating, thought-provoking questions about horse racing.
Okay. Moving on.
Woltz right now is spinning in his grave, by the way.
You think he's dead?
The character, Jack Woltz?
Yeah.
Because this was the 40s.
You never know.
70 years ago, wasn't he? Like 50 or 60? He was already at least 60. He'd be 130.
You think he's 60? I thought he was in his mid-20s in this scene. It's a hard life in a studio exec.
So that's the dancing lessons, acting lessons didn't do him so well.
So they're having dinner together.
Yes.
This is another question. This is almost like the question you just asked me, but I was just switching it around. And they're doing that classic thing where they're sitting at far ends of the table from each other.
Yeah.
What is the farthest you've ever eaten with someone, but that you physically sat apart away from them?
Oh, gosh.
Have you ever sat at a table, for instance, where you're both at the ends lengthwise?
Well,
like the classic people eating in a Dracula's castle, on one end of each.
I don't think I have, but I know that if I came upon that scenario, I absolutely would do it just for the comedy.
What do you mean? How long would the table have to be for you to do it? You wouldn't do it at your home. You wouldn't do it at your home kitchen table, even though that would.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done it. I don't think I've ever been at a table that long.
enough.
Yeah. Does it one stand out to you?
I
haven't been in any castles. I know that.
I've eaten at a table, a long table, but there was a big group of people around the table, but never two people at a giant table like that. I'm gonna set that up somehow.
Yeah.
This is what I think we should do for the show. We'll record this when we do it. Let's make a reservation for 20 at a restaurant. And then we'll just show up and sit at either end of the table.
What happens when they say, "Oh, sir, we can't seat you till at least 15 are here."
At least 3 of your party is here.
But if they didn't say that, we sit down at opposite ends, and then we just wait it out. We just keep saying, "Oh, they're on their way. The other 18 are on their way."
But they told us to go ahead.
That'd be so mean. The waiter or waitress is going back and forth.
Well, or alternately, to get with your question, if they say, "Oh, we're not, we only let full parties sit," I would arrange to have 18 people come with us. we all sit down,
Oh,
but then
yeah.
you and I would sit at either end, and then everyone else would just leave the table.
Right before they order.
Yeah, right before they order.
That sounds like a you got punked episode for the wait
No, it would be
staff.
after they order, and then we all leave.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? You should, since this is your gag, you should be the last to leave.
I totally
restaurant,
should.
yeah.
And washing a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
Is the thing people really do?
It almost seems like we're trying to stall this episode. This is a great episode.
True. Yeah, we should focus
No,
on
no,
this
I want to
minute.
answer the question. I don't think they do that. I just think it's a great bit. Or maybe they did. Maybe they did back in the 50s and 60s when that line started to be used. Because what else are they going to do?
Like,
What else is an establishment going to do? Have you arrested? I guess they could.
they could just like hold on to your wallet and say, go. We're going to keep some collateral until you come back, or
Yeah, I guess.
give me your shoes.
Yeah, you're going to wash dishes, wash the floor. Yeah.
That's the other thing we should do is also next time we go out to eat, we should try to say, oh, we don't have any money.
Oh, we
And
should
see what
just
they
to
do. Just see what they say.
We asked. We're going to answer that one. This is turning into like a kind of weird
Like a dare
reality
show.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of dinners, let's focus on Jack Woltz
Yeah.
and Tom Hagen.
Well, this is a fantastic minute. I
It
think
is.
Jack Waltz.
The dialogue's all great.
And it's Jack Waltz. I mean, he's just. I wrote in my notes, is this a monologue or a soliloquy? Because he's going at it.
It's a monologue. Yeah.
It is a monologue.
Yeah. I think soliloquy is if there's no one else there.
It's almost as if Tom is not there.
But I mean, like a soliloquy would be him being like, "What can I do? Can I give him the part? I can't. Singing lessons, dancing lessons. I did that all. Come on, Jack.
That was the scene that was cut out.
Come on,
after.
Herschel Goldstein. His real name.
He goes out to the stable. Would it be a soliloquy if you were saying this to Khartoum late at night, just alone?
I would say that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a soliloquy, right?
Yeah. As a soliloquy.
Khartoum, I can't give Johnny the part of the picture. I'd be made to look ridiculous.
Oh,
And I can't be very. He starts chewing out the horse.
Take it easy, Jack. So do you want to go through the whole monologue?
Oh,
if I was an
it's
actor, I would
so-
totally audition with this monologue. This would be like the audition that I like.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I would totally be like.
How would you? But what if the producer or the casting director said, "All right, you have to start with this line already with him at the red level.
No.
You can't even warm up to it. You need to go in there cold and do it." What would you do in advance to kind of gear you up to put you in the mindset to just hit the ground running?
Okay. I would probably find an actress or a woman who wanted to be an actress, a girl who wanted to be an actress, and I would give her singing lessons and I would give her dancing lessons and I'd do all this stuff. I would have some Italian crooner sleep with her right before I went in for the audition, and then I would go in.
So you're a method actor.
I totally am a method
You
actor.
get in the
yeah.
mindset of like really
You don't
experiencing
know what it's
it.
like until you've done
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
Don't judge a man until you've given his protege singing lessons, and dancing lessons, and acting lessons.
That is so ridiculous. But I think, you know what? You got the part.
I did.
You got it.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know why I'm giving it to you? Because Johnny Fontaine will never get that
To
part.
anyone except Johnny Fontaine.
I was going to make him a big star. I love how he says it twice. He says star twice in this dialogue. Well, the first time referring to Johnny.
All right, Johnny Fontaine ruined. Oh, because let's start with the. You don't understand. Johnny Fontaine never gets that movie.
Well, you're not going to say it in the Woltz?
No, I want to
voice?
read it in a
Okay.
rational, calm, rational voice.
All right.
That part is perfect for him. It'll make him a big star. I'm going to run him out of the business, and let me tell you why. This is almost like the start of the musical. Let me tell you why. Yeah, singing lessons, dancing lessons.
And that's where he stands up, too.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Johnny Fontaine.
Johnny Fontaine ruined one of Waltz's International's most valuable proteges.
Can I interject?
Yes.
Are we going to dissect that? Are we going to break this down?
Sure, if you want to.
You know what? Let's break it down.
Let's break it down.
I love how he
Break it
says.
down.
I love how he says Johnny Fontaine. He doesn't say one of my actresses, or he's like one of Waltz's International's most valuable proteges. That rolled off his tongue so well, as if he had been practicing the line.
He's very eloquent for a
yeah. Well, he took all
immigrant.
those speech lessons.
Yeah, that's true. Well, plus the singing lessons. Do you think he had the same teacher that gave him singing, dancing lessons, and elocution lessons? Did he say, I got a great dame. She'll teach you totally how to talk good.
It cuts to her at her audition, and she's talking just like him. She's like, yeah, I've been all around the world, and I'm perfect for this part.
You do a lady voice.
Oh, yeah, that's true. How would she say it?
She'd be like,
The casting director, what makes you qualified for this part? I had acting lessons, dancing lessons. I'm going to be a big star.
Oh, my gosh.
It's terrible. Yeah, I ain't no two-bit hustler actress.
Oh, my gosh. We totally are going to have to, by the end of this, we're
terrible.
totally going to have to be acting out whole scenes with us playing different characters.
So maybe part of the bonus content today will be blocking this
Looking into
scene.
horse racing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
The
about
world
all
of
that.
horse racing.
You can place your bets. Alex and I would taking bets on the horses. But maybe...
No. Let's save the gambling for last.
Maybe we need to segue back to the Godfather musical, which I am working on. If you don't remember, and we need to come up with a scene for how this has to be a scene in the musical, and it has to. Tom Hagen's just sitting at the dining room table the whole time of the scene. But let's maybe talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
What that scene will look like.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So continue then
Yes.
with the dialogue.
So then he says, most valuable proteges. For 5 years, we had her under training, singing lessons, acting lessons, dancing lessons. So this is actually a thing that really happened in Hollywood back then. Like it happened to Judy Garland. Like they found her when she was very young, like a 12, 13 years old. And they're like, well, you're great, but we have to give you polish. So they fixed her teeth and put her on diet pills, and that's what made her all crazy. And
Really?
So groom her into a star. And so this is definitely a thing that happened back then, because you basically signed up and you worked for a studio, and they would just put you in whatever pictures they wanted. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Oh, very cool.
back to
Not cool, I guess, if it drove them crazy, but just interesting how that was part of the industry.
Not everyone was driven crazy.
Yeah.
But let's see.
No wonder she was seeing gnomes and elves and lions and tin men.
Tin men, lion men, tin men, scarecrow men.
There wasn't enough time, Hagen.
You spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on her, which, as we know from,
We already have the conversion readily available.
I'm gonna have to look up if that's the most anyone's ever spent on an actress.
That's millions, literally.
That is literally millions. Literally millions.
Because didn't we determine $600,000 was about 7 point something million?
Yeah,
So it's about
7.9 million.
a tenfold upgrade.
Wow. Upgrade. I was going to make her a big star. And let me be even more frank. So the first part of his frankness has to do with the fact that Johnny ruined her. What do you think that means? Obviously, he slept with her.
I don't think he said that yet, has he?
Yeah, he says Johnny Fontaine ruined one of their... Did he just sleep with her, or did he also turn her into a bad girl? Like she started partying and totally ruined her good girl image.
I believe in the book it was that. It was just starting to party.
Right.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we haven't, I think we'll talk about it probably in the next couple of weeks. There's a whole deleted subplot about Jack Woltz where he's basically like a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like he kind of has these young quote unquote actresses come in and so on. So that's definitely adds a creepy level to the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So. And also, since Johnny Fontaine married one of those little girls that were at the wedding.
Yeah.
And since Johnny slept with her, it just raises disturbing questions about Johnny Fontaine as well.
By the way, I saw one of the deleted scenes from Godfather 2 recently where Sonny's daughter goes to Michael at the Lake Tahoe wedding scene, not the wedding scene, but the big party scene.
The communion.
Where she and her fiance or fiance to be ask Michael for permission.
Right.
So it's actually, because that's not is that in the regular movie? No, that's a deleted scene.
Yeah, that is a deleted scene. Yeah. But that's not the...
That's not Johnny Fontaine.
Okay, yeah, that's not the Johnny
But it was
Fontaine.
Sonny's daughter.
Right. I'm going to make her a big star. And let me be even more frank. Just to show you I'm not a hard-hearted man. That's not about dollars and cents. She was beautiful. She was young. She was innocent. She was the greatest piece of ass I've ever had, and I've had them all over the world.
Wow. He's really bragging now.
Yeah. I've had them all over the world. Japan, China, South Africa, England, France. He just starts naming all the countries where he's...
I think it's funny how he says, she was young and innocent, and she was the greatest piece of ass I've ever had.
It's a great contrast.
Yeah, right there. It seems like a contradiction that he's saying.
Yeah.
And he's blaming Johnny for it, but I think he's projecting a little bit. I mean, he says Johnny ruined her, but it sounds like it was really him.
Well, I guess maybe
That's
when he was with her, he still kept her all like proper, and maybe when Johnny was with her, she started smoking and was more of a bad girl. No, but I love the contrast of saying, oh, she was sweet, she was innocent, she was the best piece of ass, and the fact that, so is he consciously doing that? Was he setting it up so it seems more, or like or is he totally oblivious to the fact that what he says totally goes against the hypocrisy? Is he aware of the hypocrisy of this?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think he is aware, but at this point he's just getting mad and he's just saying it, and he's like, and as he says, let me even be more frank with you.
He's like, she was the best piece of ass I ever had. Wait a minute, I'm the one who ruined her. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm totally gonna give Johnny the fuck.
And then Johnny Fontaine comes along with his olive oil voice and his guinea charm.
He says it's his
great.
olive oil voice and his guinnie charm.
Yeah,
it sounds like Tony Kirsten. That's where the minute ends. It ends mid monologue for olive oil voice and his guinea charm.
Yeah. Well, it's great. We're not all the way through this monologue, but it's just fantastic, this delivery.
Yeah.
Waltz is getting more upset. I think when he stands up, he throws down his napkin, and when he walks over halfway to the table or even closer, and he even leans in. So he's mad. It's great blocking, great filming.
That awesome coat with
the blue coat with
stripes.
It's almost white, like sewn on buttons and seams.
So do you think is that also a thing where he's like, I can't afford to look ridiculous, and meanwhile he's wearing this crazy suit? Is that intentional, you think?
You think he's actually saying that because it's...
Look at me! Look at my suit!
I know, look what they make me wear! I can't afford to look... That's why he only wears it inside when he has like one person over. There's Puzo writes in the book that when Woltz reveals to Tom Hagen that he's not going to give Johnny the part because he ruined the actress, Hagen is stunned that this personal issue is what's behind Waltz's refusal. It's really interesting because in the business world, Tom had learned that in the business world of The Godfather, a personal issue like that would never have any influence on a business decision. Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Just some insight into Tom's growth as a consigliere.
Wait, what do you mean? His growth because...
Well, I think most people would probably let a personal issue impact a business decision, or maybe not at this level, but clearly Woltz is thinking with his heart and his junk.
He's thinking with his junk. That'll be the title of this.
Yeah, but anyway, Tom is literally stunned. He's like, "Wow, this guy is a multi-million-dollar movie producer, movie mogul, and he's letting a personal issue like this impact business." He's saying Woltz is taking this personally.
Yeah,
this is all business, Sonny.
Yeah, and I guess the Don also puts his money where his mouth is because, Fredo gets stepped over. Yeah, clearly his feelings are hurt. Yeah. And the Don's not like, well, maybe we should give him the business. We don't want him to get mad.
That's a good point.
It's not personal. It's just business.
Yeah.
So,
although maybe it comes back around when you become so powerful like Woltz that you can start to let your personal feelings impact your business because you've made it.
Yeah. Maybe. That's an interesting...
Or maybe Woltz is just such a hothead.
Yeah, I wonder. That's an interesting...
Although maybe it is calculated. Maybe Woltz really, even as a business decision, it makes sense for him not to give Johnny... He hedges his bet. He's like, I'm going to go up against the Don Corleone, but I can't give Johnny this picture, and it's the best business decision because it'll make me look ridiculous, and that will hurt my bottom
so
line in the long
it
run.
ultimately is a business decision
yeah.
because he's like saying I can't look, it'll weaken, I'll look weak in front of my in front of my colleagues and so on.
Yeah.
So I guess it is a business decision.
Yeah.
So Tom is wrong then.
I guess Tom is wrong. Yeah.
He didn't think
He's not a good consigliere.
He wasn't thinking enough like at other levels, you know. So that's funny.
Speaking of business decisions, it's time for the cannoli
countdown.
Guns and cannoli. Won't be seeing Paulie no more.
Paulie betrayed me, he got a cold and then didn't show up to work. I thought Paulie was a good kid, but it turned out he was the stupid jerk. I'm talking about a countdown.
Guns and cannoli. You won't be seeing Paulie no more.
You gotta leave the gun to send a clear message, or else you might lose your life. And whatever you do, take that cannoli. Don't upset Clemenza's wife. We're working on a countdown.
Guns and cannoli. You won't be seeing Paulie no more.
How many minutes left? How many minutes left? We're doing the countdown. How many minutes left? How many minutes left, consigliere? How many minutes left?
How many minutes left,
How
Alex?
many minutes
Well, if I
left?
recall, last time I'm gonna say 20.
How many minutes left, consigliere?
Six.
How many minutes
You
left?
would be wrong.
What?
But you're only off by 1, 27. Well, now you're really not going to like me now would ask. 27 minutes left. How do you say 27 in Italian? We just went over it a few minutes ago.
Minuto numero
Keep going.
20 dice.
Almost. 20.
Duo.
Close.
Due.
You're 5 off. 27.
Sette. Oh, 7. I was thinking
Yeah.
2 for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I think because you were giving me.
I was giving you a V with my finger.
Oh, I thought,
20.
I thought that was 2.
I was giving you a peace sign, man.
I know.
Waltz is so aggressive. I just wanted to bring it down a notch. Anyway, 27 minutes until the one of the most famous Godfather scenes.
Yes. So everyone, place your bets on when it'll happen.
Place your bets on cartoon.
Oh, wait a minute. We should save the gambling for last. So what do we rate this minute?
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a great one. There's so many.
I'll go first. You went first yesterday, so last
Okay.
time. So I'm going to go.
Wait, don't say it yet.
Okay.
Why don't we say it at the same time?
Okay, ready?
Let me think. I'm torn, and you know the two numbers I'm torn between because there's so many. It's classic Woltz, and we're really not going to see Woltz after this minute. Well, maybe next minute a tiny
Yeah,
bit.
that's true.
Okay, ready? One on the count of 3. Right after 3, right?
Wait, so it's 1, 2, 3 reveal, or 1,
Yes.
2 reveal?
I think it should be 1, 2, 3 and reveal, but maybe we shouldn't say 1, 2, 3 because those are numbers of possible ratings. We don't want to,
Okay, so let's say A, B, C number.
and then the number.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
A, B, C, 5. Oh! You know, it's funny. I was originally going to go with 4. And then
And I was gonna go with 5.
And you up-talked me because you're like, it's Jack Woltz's only
know,
minute. And
I
this
know.
is Olive Oil Voice. And
It's
it's Guinea
Guinea
Chum.
Chum.
And singing lessons.
It's dancing lessons.
Oh.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, well.
So
Locked
do you
in.
want to change or do you want me to change?
No, I'm keeping mine at 5.
Okay.
You want to change or you're going to keep it? Because originally I was going to give this
it's
one
so
4 and then
classic.
tomorrow 5 to build.
That's what I was gonna do.
Because last
also.
week's was
3,
3 to
and
build up
4,
to
and
the
yeah.
climax.
I'll keep it at 4.
Keep it at 4.
Yeah, keep it at 4. And that's it for the minute then.
That is it for the minutes.
And what is going to be the content of our bonus minute?
We're going to get to some the horse racing arcana. What was the other? Didn't we come up with something? Oh, the musical.
The musical, the scene. How will it be blocked? What will be the
I have
melody
some great
ideas?
Yeah. So, all right then. Everyone, thanks for listening to the show. You can, if you want to interact with us, you can go on Facebook at the Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub. Sign up over there where no one steps. So what is it?
Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse nightclub, where nobody gets stepped over. No, it was where
You step over.
you do the stepping over.
You are the one who does the stepping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So, go to Facebook, do that. And until then,
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Yeehaw!